Next up, so we're going to talk about Lofty. We're going to talk about the ways you can market through Lofty. This is really important, in my opinion, if you are looking to build your business and are maybe kind of struggling with generating leads, either buyer or seller. Maybe you've gone into Facebook Ad Manager or Google Pay-per-click, and I mean those things can be a little challenging to look at and try and create an ad with if you're unfamiliar with them. Seems like they just have so many layers. Not that it's impossible, but I know it can be somewhat of a turnoff. Or if you're looking at, buying leads from a third party and things like that, they're all pretty much getting them from the same source. They're doing the same thing. So might as well cut out the middleman and do it yourself with something that's already built out to do so within a dashboard. So, Aaron, looks like you're on mute still. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. How you doing?
Good. All right, perfect. So, do you want to share your screen or?
Yeah, so what I'll do is I'll share your CRM where our marketing section is, and I'll kind of just go over everything we offer, go over kind of basics and overview. We're not going to get like deep with everything, right? Because there's a lot of content here. And then just
Mhm.
kind of give you how you get started, pricing, how it works, kind of what we recommend as well. And then if anybody is interested, if they want to move forward, want to have a consultation with me, then we can set up I can give you my calendar link. You guys can schedule a call, and then we'll go deeper into kind of what you're looking to do, kind of what platform fits best, how you really generate leads with Lofty to make business, right? Because there's a lot of different opportunities you can definitely work with. I work with the digital marketing team, so I've been here for about 4.5 years now. I have 7 years of digital marketing and advertising experience, and I came from Facebook. So basically worked at Facebook for 2 years. So just want to show you kind of everything Lofty has to offer, what works best, I mean, how you can get leads in your system that are good opportunities, how you can get people that making 1 to 2 closings makes you pay for marketing for the year, also putting money back into your business. So
Awesome.
yeah,
All right,
of course.
let's get
And if
that
we have
going.
any questions throughout too, feel free to ask. Like I said, there's going to be a lot of it's a lot of content to what I'm just going to show you because it gets pretty deep. But I just want guys to understand the basics, like what we offer, what all of these things do, when you would use it at the end of the day, and kind of what makes sense based on your business's goals and what you're trying to accomplish. So cool.
Yep.
Yeah, so just a little overview about Lofty lead generation. Everything that Lofty does for you is fully managed by Lofty, meaning we're going to manage your ads, the performance, any part of the paid marketing for you. While it allows you to really focus on when the lead comes in from the campaign, focusing on the follow up, the nurture, getting the lead through X, Y, and Z, so that again, you at the end of the day, the goal is to close deals, right? To get the leads, to get opportunities that are good opportunities to get them to buy or sell their home, right? So the idea with it is there's a lot of different opportunities you'll see here in our marketing section, anything from lead generation. We also have Lofty Blast, and I'll go over what all those mean. And then as well as brand awareness campaigns as well. Um, it really is going to be dependent kind of on what you want to do, but most commonly the lead generation buyer seller and remarketing will be the most common that our clients do. Do know everything we're going to do for you is a cold traffic internet lead. The marketing meaning that if somebody is using cold traffic internet leads, it's basically those leads are coming in from either a campaign on social media or PPC, the internet, right? Meaning that the lead quality does take time, right? It's going to be the industry average for closing with cold traffic internet leads is about 6 to 12 months at about a 1% conversion rate. So it does take a very good follow-up and nurture process and making sure you're able to handle all the leads to really have a successful lead generation paid lead program with Lofty, right? Um, Everything we do for you is for billing is on a month-to-month basis, meaning everything is a month-to-month basis. We charge you a minimum ad spend plus a fee to manage the ads as a partner, or obviously we work with Lofty, right? We do take a fee to manage your ads per month because we are doing all the campaign management for you. This is common within any marketing company or industry you go to. Um, the idea the cost for those breaking the basis down is For PPC, you're looking at $600 a month minimum. For social media, which is considered like Facebook or Instagram ads, you're looking at 300 minimum, and then you have a management fee that's $150 a month if your budget is 650 or 750 or below. But once you increase that budget over 750 or starting with a budget over 750 going forward, Lofty, your management fee is 20% of ad spend. So Lofty offers a lot of different marketing options. We offer anything from full-blown lead generation campaigns, mixed channel marketing, remarketing, retargeting, as well as simple campaigns, more a little more budget friendly, like zip code blasts, listing blasts, as well as awareness ads within Sphere ads, and as well as a seller campaign marketing strategy called Lofty Boil. We'll go through those so you guys don't it so it's not just a bunch of information. But the idea of it is again, I typically recommend when you're doing marketing with Lofty, picking something that makes sense based on your goals, obviously your budget and how you're structured. Are you a team? Are you a single agent? Right? How are you? Because that's going to determine a lot of times the budget and what type of capability are you able to do with marketing. Obviously, budget's going to be everything. The more money you have, the more opportunity you can work with, right? But again, depending on kind of what you want to do, we work with everything. So, um, campaign. So the two main campaign options we offer within lead generation is going to be PPC or social media. PPC ads are going to be Bing or Google. Social media is Facebook or Instagram. We also offer remarketing and retargeting opportunities to re-engage your leads as well. So the idea is kind of just a basic overview of how these ads work. Everything we do in place for you, like I said, it's cold traffic internet leads. PPC uses your website to generate leads based on what people are searching on the internet, based on specific keywords that people search. For example, if I live in Phoenix, Arizona, which I do, I'm looking to buy a home, homes for sale in Phoenix, Arizona, my ad can pop up on the Google's ad search engine, right? And then at the end of the day, I click that ad. It asks me to then register once I click one listing view on your Lofty website. So for Google, we capture leads on the internet. For Facebook, we're using the lead generation objective, meaning we're using the objective for Facebook to use lead form, right? So we capture the information before and then send them to your website. So it's fast, easy, and privacy safe for the user. The ads that we're going to use, we're using for Facebook, we use what's called a dynamic catalog. It pulls dynamically your MLS feed from your website, MLS listings, and puts them into a catalog based on the cities and filters that you want your homes to show, right? So, again, so the idea of this is, like I said, you typically pick kind of what makes sense. Most clients commonly with Lofty are going to be doing PPC over social media. The idea difference is PPC is a more intentful ad. It's somebody that's intentfully searching the internet, so they have shown or are interested. Where Facebook's going to be more or less awareness with intent to action, where someone sees your ad, maybe they're in the process of buying a home, but they're not there to buy a home, right? They're not looking to buy a home on Facebook. It's ideally that, hey, the ad is shown, they could be looking to buy a home, they see it, right? And then boom, you get them right to the website or to your form, you get them to register. Lead quality on Facebook tends to be a little bit lower, but it is going to be a bigger lead generator for you, meaning that it is going to generate more leads. Google is going to be the opposite. It is a intent platform, meaning that the lead quality tends to be better. The lead flow is going to tend to be a little bit lower because you're dealing with a little bit more intentful leads. Also, the difference in budget, the reason that is as well, with about a $300 minimum, is just because Google is going to be a lot more expensive than Facebook. You look at about an average of $2 per click on Google. So, any questions there? The first part, kind of just going over like the lead generation.
If you do, you can throw them in the chat and make sure that you press to
Yeah,
everybody and not just to host a panelist. That way we can put those out.
yeah, of course.
I
I'll
mean, I
make
guess if you
sure.
want to send them a host panelist, you can, but not everybody will see your question. And I do want to second the PPCs. We moved as a company from Facebook lead gen over to PPCs because it is a more intentful
Yeah,
lead that comes through. So those are actually my preferred.
Yeah.
And we have, a lot of new agents on this, a lot of new agents to Rise Realty on this meeting, and that's probably how you found us actually, was from a PPC ad. We used to run Facebook ads way back in the day, and we found that the PPC is much more intentful, and the the consumer is getting exactly the result of what it is that they're searching. So
Yeah.
I do prefer them myself.
Yeah, no, of course. And again, and that's very common among the marketing industry. Even like, I mean, for most service-based industries, PPC will probably be the more common, more popular, more used, effective advertising. Typically, Facebook, from where I came from, when I was at Facebook, Facebook is best for product. However, we encourage clients really to go a little bit further. The best strategy I recommend is actually utilizing what's called mixed channel, where you actually combine Facebook and Google to create lead quality and a good quantity of leads, so that you're getting enough leads in your pipeline or opportunities to close. Because the idea with all lead generation is, we understand not every lead is a good lead, right? We know people are going to put bogus information. We know people are going to be probably not the right opportunity, right? But you want to have enough opportunities that as you have those opportunities coming in each month, there's a couple of those leads that you're sourcing, or 5 to 10 of them that are good leads that you could see, hey, they could buy a home. I've talked to this person, right? So you will always have a percentage that at the end of the day may not be a good quality lead. However, you always do generate a good quality. There's a good percentage that are, though. So like, being honest and transparent with everybody, like, again, it's all cold traffic in the end of the day. So when someone goes to the website, they can do whatever they want, right? Again, and we never can control the user's behavior with any marketing campaign. So, um, typically, like I said, the mixed channels where I really recommend. That's typically when it's like a $900 ad budget. It mixes Google and Facebook, because it gets you to the next part that I want to help show you, is like, it's having not just a one type focus with lead gen, it's having full funnel focus as well. So like, you see, like, we have buyer, Facebook, Microsoft, and Lofty Leads MVP. It's a combination of all three, basically. I typically recommend doing each of these separate. Um, Bing ads are unique in a way that if you're in an area where you're marketing homes that are of an average age of 40 plus, you have buyers average age is 40 plus, Bing is a great opportunity because it is a platform that is an average older demographic, meaning that it could be a good place to market. Typically avoid it if you're dealing with like bigger cities. It's typically for areas where the average age is 40 plus. So all ads we do as well for you are going to be customizable. They're customizable to your liking if you send us the content. We have pre-built content for the headlines, descriptions on Google for your specific city and the keywords, as well as the Facebook ad copy, and the catalog. Obviously, it's created by us because it's dynamic. It's a feed. But if there's anything you ever wanted to add to your ad, you want to do something a little bit different than what's shown here, buyer, seller, remarketing, we can do it. You just need to have the content, and specifically if there's a landing page involved, a landing page to do the marketing. Meaning, for example, maybe you want to do cash offers, or you want to do new construction homes, or even an example like mortgage ads. We can do those. You just have to provide the content for the ad, because we don't create any content for you. At the end of the day, we're not a content creation or creative team. So again, we do offer, like, again, a full vast variety of everything at the end of the day, as well as, again, if you want say in your ads, we're not a one-way street or one-way highway here. If you have your own input and you want to put it in there and you send it to us, you tell us, we'll use what you have. So you can also see we do buyer, and you could do seller as well. Seller ads work as a way of what we do. We use your home evaluation page to get people to put a home evaluation in. For Google, it uses your website. For Facebook, it's going to use a form again, and then we send them to your home evaluation. So big important one. This is a very popular one among our clients. Remarketing ads and retargeting ads. This is super essential for your business when you are running ads, especially when you're in acquisition and you're running new leads to your website. You're going to first generate a lot of people that may not register, but they went to your website, they clicked, and didn't take action. Well, we have a campaign for that, right? We have an opportunity, what's called retargeting. Retargeting ads are opportunities where the user has not registered as a lead in Lofty, but they've taken a certain action on your business that's targeted, right? Maybe they went to your Facebook or Instagram page and they looked at an organic post, but they didn't take action. They went to one of the PPC ads we're running, but they didn't register. Well, now what we can do with retargeting is we can use an ad on Facebook that puts the ad back in front of the specific users that didn't take action and register, right? And then get them to register by saying, hey, look at these listings, right? You never registered. Or, hey, so that we're actually able to then capture traffic fall off and recover a lot of missed clicks or people that took action on your business and didn't convert. This is where Facebook and Google do very, very well together with the mixed channel because it feeds what's called a mixed channel. And eventually, what we want to get you to is full funnel marketing, where you're focused not just on one side, like new users, you're focused on existing users that you have, as well as people that haven't registered as a lead in Lofty and getting them into your system. So, costs for this vary based on how big your audience size is. Typically, 1,000 is the best size for Facebook to start. So typically, I usually recommend about 100 per campaign. And then for Facebook remarketing ads, you want to know Facebook remarketing ads are ads that target your entire database, CRM lead database, maybe even a spreadsheet you have of your existing leads, and the ad targets them back to the website. So what's going to end up happening is if we target people back to your website, you re-engage leads have already registered with Lofty. You're engaging them with your content. You're getting them more aware of who you are as a realtor, your branding, getting people on different listings or areas. You're basically re-engaging your traffic or your leads, as well as you're then creating back to site opportunities. So that again, as you're following up with these people, they're actively going back to your website. They're engaging with your brand and your business. They're coming recognized with you. So like when it comes time, they remember you, right? So all in all, those are like again, those are two very, very important components to for leads. Being able to combine retargeting, remarketing, and an acquisition source so that you create what we call as a mixed channel and a full funnel targeted approach. Does anyone have questions on that? This gets very deep. That's why I kind of wanted to keep it very short here. Because again, at the end of the day, like there's a lot of ways and things you can do here, but these are probably two of the most effective ways to market. So
I have a couple questions. So, like I said, we have a fair amount of new agents to the brokerage. We also have a fair amount of agents just kind of getting started out.
yeah, of course.
And, maybe the budget isn't there for
Mhm.
the mixed package. What would you recommend on a minimum level to just get some business going? Let's just say they're new licensee, or maybe they're getting back into the business. What would you recommend would be the most affordable option for them to start seeing
Yeah,
some
of
contacts
course.
coming through?
Yeah, no, you're exactly right about that. Yeah, marketing is expensive. Again, these are not cheap options. Retargeting you do need an acquisition source. You need a good source size audience for both of these ads in order for them to work, even though they're cheaper options. Um, if you're looking to get started, there's two different things I would tell you. And then the third one is if you have your own listings. So the first one is buyer lead generation, obviously, or seller. Sticking with like Facebook, right? If you don't have 600 to play with PPC, go with Facebook. It's still a good lead generator. It does generate good leads. Again, it's all about how well the follow up is. But even if, let's say, that's a lot of money, I would come down to this opportunity here, zip code blast, right? Zip code blast is essentially a Facebook ad that runs, and I'll show it to you if I just use my zip code, right? Essentially what it does is it runs it's a $99 minimum, but again, you can pick how much you want to go for, right? You want to do 80, So you can actually pick. So let's say if you want to do it for $99, this is a Facebook ad that is targeted to advertise in a catalog up to two of your zip codes on Facebook. So the idea is that it works kind of like a buyer ad, but again, it's advertising only two of those zip codes that generate leads for those specific areas. This is going to be the most budget friendly option for you if you're wanting to do something. These go for 1 to 4 weeks. So again, like it just depends. Do know our zip code blast ads are a recurring charge. So again, if you do them, you do need to know if you're going to stop it to make sure you cancel it with our finance team. Um, but these are going to be very more budget friendly, where they're like $99 per week, or you have it at 198. The highest you can go here is up to $495 a week. If you're playing around with getting into these numbers like 80, 100, even at that 60% level, I would highly recommend if you have that budget per month to kind of look at more doing a full-blown marketing campaign, just because there's a lot more customization you can do with the full-blown Facebook marketing ads rather than just zip code. This is an easy way to advertise, to get your feet wet with the ads, to get you to actually get familiar with Lofty's advertising products as well. But again, if you're looking for a budget-friendly option, say you have maybe $200, go with something like this. So, any
Okay, that's pretty
questions
good.
there,
I
Ernest?
didn't know that you could advertise with zip codes. With
So you can't target specifically zip codes on Facebook, but it uses it in a catalog and it targets that specific area in a radius. So,
okay,
mhm,
all right.
yep. And
And so
do
that'd be
know,
weekly. So let's say someone wanted to try it out for, I don't know, 2 weeks at 20%. Would they just need to call and say, hey, I don't want to do this anymore week two, or they just kind of keep
yeah,
it going?
just you would let me know, or typically you would reach out to support, but you have my contact, Travis, which I want you to share with everybody that if, hey, they end up doing something and they need it stopped, reach out to me. I'm direct. I have a direct line and direct email. So you're not held up like where it goes to support, goes to a channel, you wait 2 or 3 days and then they don't cancel it and then you get billed again, right? um, just in case that were to happen. So, but you want to be diligent with it. If you know, hey, I'm not going to do it for more than 2 weeks, just let me know, and I can also let you know, hey, this is only going to be 2 weeks. Don't bill after this. You know.
Okay. And then what if they only wanted, let's say they had a budget of $200 um, a month? Would they just run it for 2 weeks and then call and say, hey, pause it and then start again the next month? Or what would they do there?
Yeah, I mean, you could. It's all about just being diligent and letting us know, hey, you don't want to do it anymore because like there's not a way to actually cancel, right? So the idea there is too, even if you had 200 and you're going to do 200 a month, it may be also better to just do the buyer lead generation, even though it's a little bit under the minimum, you can kind of get away with it more on Facebook than with PPC, you
Yeah.
know. So
Okay. And then one question said, how many clicks per $99?
it really depends. There's not really, you can't put a budget to an amount of guaranteed result. There's no guaranteed results in marketing, right? It's very dependent on so many different factors. The biggest one is user behavior. These are all do know estimations based on past home data and past ad data. But again, ads fluctuate on a daily basis, so it's not you can't really give you a ideal amount of clicks because you can't estimate how many people actually see the ad based on how many people are going to click it, who that
Yeah.
saw it. So,
I found it's generally pretty consistent, especially
yeah,
after it gets running for a week or two.
yeah,
Um, it stays pretty consistent. You do see sub ebb and flow, but
yeah.
I do see pretty good consistency. We run stuff pretty consistently, and it's
Mhm.
there's a
Yeah.
little bit of fluctuation, but it stays pretty constant.
Yeah,
So
the longer
I
your
guess
ads run too, this is the other thing to know, the more consistent the results will be too. So like if you're running the ad for over 6 to 12 months, like I have clients, their cost per lead and their amount of clicks and the amount of leads they're generating is pretty consistent this each month because they've allowed Facebook or Google or their algorithm to fully optimize and to actually get through everything. Where if you're running a campaign at the start, it's going to be more up and down for the first 3 to 6 months. And the reasoning is that's just a learning phase. These systems are very, very good and smart at marketing, but they do take data to generate good results. That's you do have any learning phase with any ad in an optimization, 50 leads Facebook, 30 leads on Google that you have to make it to. So
Yeah. And you got to understand too, everybody, that yeah, I mean, it takes money to generate leads. And so $99 in a week is actually a very, very, very low ad spend
yeah,
for any of these.
yeah,
And so if you've tried that in the past and you just didn't really have a lot of success, it's
yeah,
not necessarily the content or anything that you had. It's more likely just the ad spend wasn't enough for it to get out
yep,
far enough.
of course.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, and everybody wants to know too, every ad platform that we use is an auction-based marketing platform, meaning it is highest bidder wins. Google centralizes vertical to what vertical you're in. So if you're real estate, you compete with any ad in real estate. Facebook, you're competing with every advertiser. It doesn't matter what industry it is. The other thing to know too is these are like, again, they're very more, I always tell clients this with these are more short term. I think these are more like, hey, I had $100 to throw, I want to try it, see how Facebook leads work in Lofty. If you're really wanting to do Facebook consistently each month, it's actually a better idea to do the buyer lead generation because the campaigns are set up for long-term success and longevity. This is more short term. So typically, like if you're only running it for a week or two, it's hard to really see the full results because optimization can take up to 90 days sometimes, depending on where you're at, what's happening on the platform, time of the year. So, you do want to consider that, but this is again like a budget friendly option for you. That definitely works.
we had one question come in. What else would you recommend in terms of content maintenance? How you work with me for the content, question mark? Would my website matter, question mark?
Yeah. So first off, website 100% matters. You need to have a website and an MLS connected with a domain because we cannot run an ad if we don't have a website. Um, in turn for content maintenance, what in specific do you mean about that? Talking about like
Um,
what kind of content? Like,
I guess I, I'll see if she responds to that. But um, for me, we've run Facebook ads in the past and just kind of run the same ad for,
yeah.
a month, 2 months, something like that. And you'll just see the thing kind of die after a
So
period of time. Like, do you
yeah.
change up the content if you're
If
working with
you
someone for
have
six
the content
months?
to send, of course, because so like with Facebook, we're using the dynamic catalog. So you don't really change the catalog up. It's dynamic with Facebook, meaning it's pulling dynamically based on what your website MLS shows right now. Right. So um, content maintenance is going to come down to how much content you send us. If you send us a new video each month, we'll update it. We refresh the campaigns each month so that the ads are fresh. However, we don't create content, so we want it's not going to be like we switch it. But if you send us a specific content you want to use or a content that you have for each month, then yes, we can. It's just we're not a creative marketing team, meaning we don't create content. So we don't have a team of like that creates content, anything
Okay.
basically. That makes sense.
I guess with that, we do have someone on here that has a large library of YouTube content.
Yes.
Um, so would that person basically uh, send that over to you? You would create an ad around that content, or I mean,
Yes,
would you
correct.
work with them a little bit on, hey, we need this
Yeah.
changed up a little bit, or reshoot, or different script, or something?
Yeah, like I mean, we will work with you in terms of like I give like the insight. Like again, I'm not a content creator, I'm not a content creator or but I do understand creative and I have worked with a lot of it in the past, right? Like we'll work with you and hey, this is kind of what you should do, or hey, let's take a look at what you have. What do you want to do with this? And give you suggestions, and insight. Typically with content, what you want to focus on is clean images, branded stuff, branded content images of like your homes, maybe your headshot on an image, as well as I like to really push a lot of our clients, and it's very hard to because a lot of them don't like to do this. I really like pushing video content. If you can do good video sells. So, example, if you have a YouTube channel and you do YouTube content, we can run YouTube ads on Google too as well. So it's a good idea. I mean, I like to you keep a variety. It's kind of what I tell our clients, just because again, like at the end of the day, like good content is going to sell your website. Good content sells your brand and your business or the product that you're selling. So at the end of the day, like if you have that, yes, we'll work with you on it. Like again, if you have like 10 images and you have a video and you want to come up with a content creation plan or marketing plan that, hey, this is how I want it done, yes, we'll do that for you. So like say you have an image, you want to do a video the next month, yeah, we'll switch it at the end of the month. Typically it's month to month. It's when you're talking content and ads, is typically you run it for a month and then switch. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So, I mean, that'd be a good plan. Always think long term when you're doing these things, because any internet lead, I've been doing internet leads since
yeah,
2004. I mean, they've really gone down in quality for one thing, but that's across the board, it seems,
yeah, of course.
as far as how quickly the person contacting you is wanting to, go out and look at homes. Way
Yeah,
back in the day, I mean, it actually was pretty good, but it's dropped off a lot. But you have to remember, all these lead companies that are throwing ads at you right now saying we're going to generate these buyer leads, this is what they're doing, you know? So
yeah. I
you're going
mean,
to be paying a premium over there when you could just be doing it yourself and managing it yourself and create your own marketing plan,
and I
essentially.
can give you guys the insight on that too. I mean, the example is if you go to like a competitor of ours and they give you a lead quote and they do that. One, if anybody ever quotes you leads, that's a red flag.
Yeah.
Um, no marketing company or industry can a marketing company can give you an exact performance or exact, hey, this is how it works. A lot of times it's a sales tactic to get you to do it, right? Because they know people are looking for guarantees. We get it all the time. You know, the idea with all of it is at the end of the day, like this stuff takes time. Again, you look at anywhere with business, it says 6 to 12 months. Again, it can take up to a year for a lead to close from a paid ad, because everything that we're doing for you is cold traffic internet. We're not following up with the leads or doing anything in that for you. That's where you're doing the lead follow up, making sure you're, again, it's always on the agent or the broker to follow up with the leads, right? So, and I always tell clients is if you don't follow up with the leads, you typically won't have much success. And you could spend, being honest with you guys, 50,000 a month on lead generation with us. But if you don't have any plan to follow up with the leads, or you just think they're going to go to the site and and buy a home, it typically will still fail. So at the end of the day, it's really on how good the follow up is, as well as making sure that we have everything. So
Yeah. And I guess for clarification purposes, we don't, when he says it could take up to a year for a lead to close, that, and correct me if I'm wrong, you're not referring to it's going to take a year before you see a return on investment. It's just,
it Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
it's this isn't, and this is the thing. It's not like other marketing where like if I sell like because I did a lot of, I mean, I worked with real estate at Facebook mainly. I mean, you probably could commonly know e-commerce is probably the most popular you're going to deal with, right? It's not like you're selling a shirt or like some type of product that's $20 to $40 where every day your cost per result literally means you're making money or losing money, right? Those are stress. I call those stress ads, honestly. Yeah, it's kind of why I'm doing this now, but at the end of the day, like your cost per lead and your leads that are coming in can be lower or higher in the first 3 to 6 months. And that's normal, right? Because you're looking for someone that's making probably the biggest purchase of their life. They're buying a home. It's gonna take time, right? It can take time from the time a lead comes in to the time that the lead closes, right? So the idea is it is long term. That's why I always tell clients that these are long term longevity for the ads, So,
yeah,
but
they're pipeline builders. So
yep,
that's what it is,
100%.
because you'll notice after a few months, all of a sudden leads from
Yep.
3 or 4 months ago are starting to raise their hand a little bit and saying,
Hmm.
hey, I really like that home you sent me or something, or they might ask you a question about a certain area, or they'll start coming alive. But what happens is I find that agents have already stopped following up with that lead
Yep,
by
correct.
then, and then it's, you know, then you've just thrown money out the window essentially. So, and that's where
Yeah, of
Lofty
course.
actually kind of comes into play. It's not gonna,
I mean, when you're talking that too, Travis, that's commonly the most reasons that people, the most of the time people will quit with us is they don't give it enough time or they're not following up with the leads,
yep,
right? A lot of times people think, oh, if you just put the smart plan in play and let it go to work, it's going to generate a closing. You still have to do the hard work, right?
yeah,
You still have to call these people. You have to hammer them out. It's there's no easy like telling you like there's a one way, this is how marketing works, this is the best strategy to generate you a closing. It really depends. Everybody's different at the end of the day. Like I have clients who do very well with Facebook, terrible with PPC, others that do great with PPC, great with Facebook, or they don't do good with Facebook, they do good with PPC. So again, and that's what's unique about this is everyone is different. That's why, like, if anyone is interested, and we have a consultation, right? We'll go more into detail about your area, kind of what you're looking for. How many home buyers are there? Like what's the buyer to renter percentage? Like, what are you looking to do? You tell me what you're wanting to do, and we'll create a plan and a strategy for you. It's tailored to your business's goals as well. So,
yeah. So, and follow up is not just, hey, I call them right away when they come in, and then I try them again later that day, and then you let
yep.
them go. It
Follow
really
up.
is a long-term thing,
Yeah.
like literally months. Like just put them on your call list once they get into, usually after, what do you recommend? After the 2 or week 3 phase is usually when I put them into kind of a
Yeah.
long-term nurture at that point.
Kind of. So what I typically recommend, and I think this is Lofty's our recommendation too. I would have to find the presentation on this. Follow up is typically for each cold traffic internet lead. It's about 10 to 15 times call, text, and email within the first 10 to 15 days. If you have no response by 15 days, and I would start like 30, 90, 120 and doing it that way so that you create a good cadence, but you're not being like bugging them, you know? Because again, at the end of the day, we don't know what the lead is doing. We don't know who the lead is. We know their name and a number and an information. We don't know if that person's at the time isn't just ready to buy a home, so they're not talking to us. So we want to keep everything in front and in play. That's why, again, when you're talking automation and smart plans as well, it's super, super important to get those set up as well so that you do have automation going as you're following up as well.
Yeah.
So,
And Lofty does let you know which lead they rank them within the
yep.
system, and they will let you know. Basically, you could just, with their AI that's incorporated in the system, just say, who should I follow up with today? And it's going to give you the list of who you
Hmm.
probably should be following up with that day. So
Yeah.
it
And
does
you
make it
can,
very easy.
yep. And you can create custom filters to see like website activity. When were they last back on your website? Are they a valid phone number and valid email? Lofty validates the phone number and email that comes in as well. So at the end of the day, like you have a lot of filters in the CRM that go after what I call low hanging fruit. Change it up some days. It's not. I don't typically wouldn't do the same. And again, this is just probably in sales in general. I wouldn't do the same routine every day I do with leads. Like I would do probably something different another day. Like change it up. Maybe you email them first and then call them, or maybe you text them before you call them, right? So they know who's being called as well as a good example. But
Yeah.
yeah, so I know we kind of have a lot. See, again, there's a lot of stuff here, but
Yeah.
listing blast is what I want to get to. This is something really important. So if you do have a listing, um, this is a quick, easy way to market your listing. You can do up to 1 to 4 weeks. Um, what it again, and it's a, again what it is. It's a $119 per week. What it is a Facebook ad that advertises one individual listing. It's these are geared towards quick, getting your listing off the market or getting leads for something you're trying to get off the market fast, right? You'll see all the listing options, new listing. If you select them in this, that's going to be the status of the actual listing in the MLS. So say you want to do an open house, you then go over here and then you would find the property or put the property in here if it's in there. Um, do note this is the most important thing, and I want you guys to see this because we have a ton. This is come because becomes a big issue sometimes. There are two options here: full campaign, one-time trial. What's the difference? Full time is a reoccurring charge, meaning it will charge you recurring charge when the time is expired. If you're wanting to only do this a one-time charge for the amount of weeks you selected, you have to select one-time trial. Don't get that confused, because if you don't and you select this, it will reoccur until the billing is canceled. Just let us know if you accidentally do it. Let me know or reach out. Hey, I did this. Can you cancel it? We can cancel the billing with our finance team. But you have to be very aware of this, because it's very easy to miss. And I understand if we're going through our day and you have so much going on and you're probably going through this fast, it's easy to miss. But just want to point that out to you guys too. So
Okay.
yeah,
Yeah, and this is a good one for, if you have the listing and you're marketing that,
yep,
in your listing presentation that you're going to do Facebook ads and things like that. This is an easy way to launch out your
yeah.
listing,
Great way to
even
generate
if you just
leads
run it for the
in a
week.
quick amount of time for a listing that, say, maybe you're looking to get off the market by next week. It's very effective. Probably one of the most popular ad types by our clients. So
Yep.
and then we do offer spear ads. Spear ads are brand awareness ads. Essentially, it's a Facebook ad that uses a branded content that you create through the CRM. It's really it's more geared towards generating local awareness in your area for you as a realtor. It's really about brand awareness. If you're looking to run brand awareness ads, we can run them with lead generation as well. So
Yeah.
local service ads, these are LSA ads. Basically, what they do, local service is Google's local service ad platform. It uses a Google My Business profile to generate leads in your local area. It's going to generate phone calls. These typically I recommend if you have an established Google My Business profile and you have an established presence on Google. They don't typically work if you do not have a ton of reviews. So the key is making sure you have an established Google My Business profile and a ton of reviews, because Google's algorithm runs LSA off of relevance when it shows your account based on how relevant the business is and how many reviews you have. So does that make sense?
Yep. Totally. Yep.
We create the LSA account for you and everything. There's a process. If you purchase it, you walk through. The cost of that, I believe, is $600 with a 20% management fee per month. There's not a ton you do in terms of, honestly, like this is one of these like I typically recommend keeping in-house, just because third-party management of it makes it tough to manage the ads. And then last we have is Lofty Bloom. You probably have seen this or heard of this one. This one, in a nutshell, it's basically combines digital marketing with physical marketing. So print postcards in a dominated zip code that you own in Lofty, meaning that if you own you have that zip code for Bloom, you're the only Lofty user that has Lofty Bloom in that zip code, and no one else can be in that area. The cool thing about this is it's a brand awareness first strategy, meaning it's a goal to basically create you good opportunities for sellers long term by using brand awareness first. So what it does is first it sends up to 300 postcards per month to specific areas in the specific zip code you have, based on your MLS triggers just sold and just listed. So, and it'll send it out to about 20 homes around that specific area. So if you do use, say, a home just listed or just sold, that home that just listed or just sold, and it'll send 20 postcards out to that specific area. And then the second part of it is it's a remarketing Facebook ad that remarkets the homeowner data of that specific zip code with a home evaluation ad. So
All right. So
the
you said 600 for one zip code, and it sounds like it's
yeah.
going to have two
So the total,
mailer triggers.
yeah, so the total I believe is 750, I believe, or 700. It's 699, my bad. It includes a lot of different things. Again, this is exclusively dominated zip code, meaning that you're the only user that's there. And there's a setup fee that's $200. Again, that can be negotiated with sales as well. But again, the 600 is on a 6-month contract too. So Lofty Bloom is a contract product. It is, the reasoning is it does take up to 6 to 12 months for this to come to fruition. So
Yeah,
Yep.
with the mailers. So
Mhm.
mailers are, I don't know. I'm a fan of mailers personally, but
Yeah, this is a little bit more like looking for it's mailers on a real life MLS trigger just listed or just sold for sellers, and a mix in a combination with digital marketing with the homeowner data. So
yeah, so you're getting digital and print,
yeah,
basically. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Hmm.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
Well,
Does anybody have any other questions though, or anything else?
I think I was kind of covering them as we were going through. Looks like we don't have any others right now. So, all right. Thanks for exposing us to what some of the marketing options are within Lofty in case you're wanting to launch some of this stuff yourself.
Mhm.
Um, all of it does feed directly into the CRM
Yeah,
portion of Lofty. So there's no connecting, your trying to use Zapier and all that other stuff. This is just going to feed right in. So it's automatic. All your smart plans will kick in, right away. So it is a easy way to manage your marketing if that's a little bit of a struggle for you.
yeah,
Um, and yeah, sounds good.
yeah.
Appreciate you coming on.
So if anybody has any other last minute questions, just put them in the chat or let me know. I can answer them. If there's any, Travis as well, you could shoot me an email with them and I can get back to you with those answers as well. And then if anybody has any interest in potentially having a consultation to do lead generation, I can give you either my scheduling link or I can also give you my email, whatever is easiest, so that if any of the agents have any interest in having a consultation to go over kind of what they're looking to do, we could do that. I can do this as well if anybody does book a call. Definitely, we can get you some ad credit if you were to start ads as well to get you a little
Yeah.
extra money to start with too.
Okay. Do you want to throw your number in the chat? We had someone asking the
Phone
number.
number.
Yeah, phone
Let me
number
give
or
my
email, whatever's easier.
I'll put the email, and then what I'll do is from there, putting my email, I can also then include the scheduling link if you want to have that as well to share.
Yeah, that helped too.
Yeah, let me put both in there for you real quick. Let me just do
All right.
this.
And I'll put this stuff in the back office as well, um, just so everybody has it. Um, or if, you want to sit on
Yep.
it for a while and think about maybe what you want to do.
Yeah,
Um,
of course.
but all this will be steady in our office. I can't copy
Yeah, of
that.
course. And you have my email if you need anything as well to reach out. I can send you also like follow-up email, just kind of breakdown of the costs and everything, and then they'll have the scheduling link in there as well. So if anybody has any questions, I have a Legion email that has like an FAQ, basically gives you some of the stuff we just discussed, the pricing and costs and everything. So
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that'd be good too. So,
yeah,
right on. We appreciate you coming on, and hopefully you have a great week. And if you guys have
yeah,
any
of course.
questions, just shoot us an email. We are going to start signing up users that want to get onto Lofty this week, because we are at
Mhm.
that point where we can start taking
Yeah.
on users and
Keep in
having
mind as well,
accounts.
um, to do lead generation, your website, MLS, and domain have to be set up before. So if you're looking to start right away, you're probably looking at anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks to get going.
Yeah.
Just in that case, pretty much our ads though are pretty fast. If everything's already set up, it's only a couple of days. So
Yeah.
to get everything
Okay.
active.
Sounds good.
Here, let me
All
put
right.
my email back in there too. I think it just put the one with a capital A. It's not a capital A, it's a lowercase a. I don't know why I just did that.
Yeah. I don't know that it matters either. So,
I think that does. I believe it actually does
that
matter.
does. All right.
For ours, it does. Yeah, so the actual right email is the lowercase, not the capital A. So
Okay.
I have put it in
Cool. And
there
I
for
grabbed
you
your
guys.
calendar link too. So we'll put all that stuff in the back office if you have ad questions, if you end up getting a Lofty account. So,
Of
all right,
course.
cool. Well, appreciate you coming on and hope
Of
everybody
course.
has a
Thanks
great
for
week.
having me. Appreciate being
Yep,
able to
we'll be
give
in
you guys
touch.
all this information. And again, at the end of the day, if you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out.
Okay, sounds good.
Of course. Have a great
All right,
day.
we'll see you. Alrighty, bye.
See you.